Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ingus and I'm from IGS Electronics. Today we're going to be continuing with our little play that we were doing with the Schneider Electric products. So today's task, what we're going to do, we're going to take this HMI, which we already played with in the last video. So what we're going to do, we're going to marry up this HMI up with M221 PLC using the Modbus RTU communications. So and then have a look at the tags a little bit, how to get tags going, how to get sort of things happen between them. So we're going to create a small program as well. Not sure how many videos are going to take, so hopefully we'll be able to do in one. If no, then we're going to do it in two. So today's main task is to get the communications going and look into how to get the tags across, and then for the HMI and PLC to understand each other. So as far as I remember, I'm not sure you remember, and I have watched the last previous videos, our HMI is on one COM port, and our drive, we're going to show in a minute, that drive is on other COM port. So our cartridge is providing the controller is working as a slave and our HMI as a master. And when we use the drive with our COM port 1, it's going to be the controller is going to be master and our drive is going to be a slave. So yeah, that's what we're doing today, guys. All the related manuals and things like that is going to be description below. And if you want to see how we got all these points, do check out the Schneider Electric playlist that we have been created in for quite some time now. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do today. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, before we get started, let's quickly have a quick recap. What we got in here, we got the HMI. HMI is communicating with the PLC via the serial port 1 in here. So HMI is a master, and this serial port is set as a slave, so the controller is a slave for this purpose. And then we have a cartridge in here which communicates with our drive via the Modbus RTU RS485 connection. So and this cartridge is being set up to be as a master, to be able to operate our drive, which is in our case a slave. So that's why we do need to have two serial ports, because there can be only one master per network. So yeah, that's what we do. The only thing I would say about this cartridge is, if ever Schneider watches it, would be nice to have a lights in here to show that there is communications working and things like that. And as you can see, there is nothing for you to indicate that there is communication. So it's a small little thing, but it definitely benefits and helps out to a lot of fellas or people who are trying to get this thing working. So yeah, so I haven't said that, so let's jump on to our laptop. So this, you can see in here, this is our program, the one we have done in a previous video. So what we're going to be using in here, we have this drive enable function block in here. So we got address in here, drive enable and drive ready, which is for the status, so make sure the drive is enabled. We can see that on the HMI. Also we have forward run, forward reverse, and we're not going to use any statuses in here. If you wish to, you can do that. And we're also going to be changing and actually monitoring the actual frequency. We're not going to be doing any scaling. We're going to be using still standard what it is as by default, which is a full frequency of 0 to 50 hertz is going to be from 0 to 1500. Guys, this is all this stuff what you see in here we already covered in previous videos. Next up, let's have a look at the configurations. So for that, let's go into configurations. As you can see in here, we have two serial lines. Our first serial line is a Modbus serial I/O scanner, which is for our drive. And if you click on it, as you can see, sort of tells you where it is. It's coming off from our cartridge, and FAN is set to RS485. So we did all this before, guys. Check out the previous videos, part of the Schneider Electric playlist. There's all there. What is all this and how it's all been done is we already done that. So, and then also we have our main serial line, which is, as you can see, this guy in here, which is set to Modbus. And as you can see in here, is set to slave, because our HMI is master, and we have given that address of 1. Now that's pretty much all you need to do to get your communications going in here. So and that should be good to go. So so when it comes down to a HMI, as you can see, we have a new project in here. And First thing we want to do, we want to go into Modbus. We already done all this, guys, this part in here in the previous videos to check out if you don't know what I'm talking about in here. So that's set up like this in here, and as you can see in here that the RS slave equipment address, which is the address that the HMI is going to communicate to, is 1. And one more thing we need to do, we need an IEC 61131 standard. So let's click that OK, yes please, and we are pretty much ready to start designing our project. And to start programming, what we really need to get our variables. And where do we get the variables? Variables is the programs that have been saved from for any of the, I don't know what software you used, projects saved from a different softwares, such as like EcoStruxure, Siemens S7, or whatever, Rockwell, or all different Omron and things like that. So we're going to be trying to transfer these variables across into our project, and that's done is quite fairly easily. So by going into variables, as you can see in here, click on variables, as you can see we got nothing. We need those variables also we could do manually, but why would you want to do that if you can just import them? So what we're going to do, right click on the variables and link variables. So click on link variables, it's going to open the folder. It says which folder, where is the folder that what we are looking for. And obviously another thing we need to know, it needs to know what it's reading for, what it's looking for. As you can see, it's PLC 7, ModSoft, ProWorks, Simple, Unity Pro, and TwiddleSoft. You can see so the one we need is some machine basic project. But as you can see Siemens, Rockwell, and whatever the other guys, all sorts of different formats in here. So what the ones we need is some machine basic project files. And as you can see, now is able to read those project files. This is the folder where I saved my project. This is where now that I selected the SMBP, and it says, oh, I can see them. So there we go. By clicking on that, it will open all the first available tags that are within this program. And as you can see in here, there's a whole lot of extras in here. Not that we did. These are just that are already in there all the time. So down count 2, there's all sorts of monitoring flags and mostly monitoring flags and some other all sorts of internal bits and things like that, and words. So do check it out if yourself. So what we need these guys in here. These are the ones is ours. So because I didn't put in the description. So yes. Oh, come on. So let me go back in here. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, so that's the ones we need to transfer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. And by clicking add, it's going to add that into your variables table. What is this? The following variable could not be created. Items in red. Oh, we have a problem in here. I thought I did change that. I'm sure I did. So we need to, if that appears, guys, it's to do with your standard in here to make sure that's ticked. So clicking that. So oh, go into the, let's go there, and now we should be good to go. And there we go, we have added them into our PLC Modbus equipment. So as you can see, and if you want to add more later on, as I said, as you see me doing it, new variables from equipment. So there is all the variables that we're going to need are here. Now that we've done that, let's jump on to start create a little bit something very basic. So let's start with text. So first we want to do the text. We're gonna call it a drive. I don't know. Drive run. I think that's what it was. Not actually run, but ready to run or something like that. Actually, we're going to call it like that. And let's change the that to 610. So here we go. That's our text. Then let's create that lamp. Remember we had this status lamp in here. We're going to show that in a minute in the project. So that lamp will do. Let's choose this right now. See variable in here. This is where you select what variable it is. And if you go into your project, as you can see, my status light is being set to M2. So that will be M2. Thank you. And everything else, another thing what we're going to do in here, we're going to go into change the colors a little bit because we want off to be red. There you go. And then on is going to be green. There you go. Done that. So there we go. So the next one we're going to do, we do another text right down here. And we are going to call this drive enable. Drive enable. Here we go. So let's do that and change the text to 610. There we go. So and put a switch on it. So why not? So let's go into switch and select. Let's take that one. If you want more of those, there's a whole load in here, as you can see. Knock yourselves out, ladies and gentlemen. Whole load of things you can do in here. So yeah, so that'll do that one. So then we need to give him a tag. So there's obviously well touched when released, which says when touched. We want to work with the bit. What operation we want to work with. So let's say it's gonna be set, reset, toggle, monitor it on, monitor it off. We're just gonna go basic toggle. Then the destination. We're gonna give him the destination is when we click. Basically, when you click, what do we send? Where do we send that click to? We're gonna send that click to M1 drive 1 enable. Okay. So there you go. And then we click add. And okay, and your switch is ready. So now that you told him where that click is going to be sent to, he's going to say I'm sending to this address specifically, which you already specified, and he's going to activate. It will toggle on and off this guy in here, and that will do for this in here. So for this video, that should be enough for our startup program. Oh, what is going on? So next up, let's go into the target. And we're going to change we're going to load it into our file system, which is going to be our USB file. And path, it's not plugged in. So let's plug that in. And there we go. So, like I open up, this is what I was working before. Let's get rid of it. Make sure the USB is empty when you do that. Don't want any unnecessary problems. So I haven't done that. So that's the path. We're going to say yes. There we go. So what it's going to do now, rather than transferring directly onto your HMI, because we did that last time, we're going to this time use the HMI USB for it. So once we did in the path, by clicking on it, it will go straight into the USB. So that should take quite quickly. And there we go, that is done. So let's remove the USB and go on to our little project in here. Here we are. So and add the USB. And it should pop on the screen in a minute. Hello, it says, do you want to install a new project from the USB? Warning, back up your data, runtime data files, but we don't want to back it up anything. And we are going to just go ahead with it. So I haven't done that. So what it's going to do now is going to go into this thingy, and it's going to start loading all the files from the USB. I will come back once it's done. There we go, that's done. So let's restart. We no longer need the USB. Let's unplug that. And let's see if we've done everything correctly. And now that our drive, we're trying to position him as much as, there we go. So hopefully you can see well, there's not too much light coming through. And there we go. So this is where our drive run and drive enable is. And now check that if you check this guy in here, if all went well, that should come on. And as you can see, it does. Now the communications and everything, what we did, it's working as we toggle on and toggle off. And that'll do for this video. Obviously, we've got quite a bit more to do. We're going to do it in the next video. We're going to be checking out the actual the numbering and words and things like that. So yeah, so that leaves me to do for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you're new to the channel and you like what we do, do subscribe if you feel so. If you feel like so. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in our next video.